Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Bog Panda. I about made a mistake there this time. So we'll go back to Bog Panda. I'm Kelly at KELLYTHUL on Twitter and Instagram.
I am Dr. Mike at Official Pagan on everything. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, leave a comment, turn on notifications, hit up the merch store. You are naked right now unless you're wearing a Bog Panda t-shirt.
And Mike can see you. so, and on that warm note, so I've mentioned probably too many times in some recent episodes that after a long drought, I finally got my 3D printer. It's a Creality CR10S 3D printer up and running again, and have been busily kind of catching up on a backlog of a variety of projects that I needed to kind of get to. But as I started to do that, I said, gee, because during the dark times, I didn't bother to go to Thingiverse to look and see what kind of models were out there to do things with. And I said, I wonder if I do a search on AtGames, what am I going to get? And there are a variety of things, a lot of light gun holsters, cup holders, different kinds of things would be good to add. But what caught my eye was a restrictor plate, and I'll include a link to this particular model in the video description below if you want to go take a look at it if you're a 3D printing kind of person. And what I liked about this a lot, and it's been a struggle I've had, and your time with AtGames is a little short here, Mike, but Tetris would be one. Tetris is a 4-position joystick game, right? That's up, down, left, right. That's it.
That's correct.
The AtGames joysticks are compatible with that, but they're really an 8-position. They come with the 8-position restrictor plate on them. So some of those 4-position games, like Tetris, like Pac Man in particular, are a little brutal to play with an 8-position, because if you're just off a little bit on that downward pull, you don't get the reaction you want to get. And in Pac Man, that's pretty much fatal at that point in time. And so I had been looking, and you can buy other restrictor plates. And I thought I'll put a 4-position restrictor plate on my one joystick, and then I'll leave the other one at 8, and then I can just kind of toggle back and forth between which joystick to use depending on the game. But then I came across this, which instead of me having to take my control panel apart, put the restrictor plate underneath the joystick, this is actually a 3D print that you actually can affix to the top of your Legend, so you don't open anything up. And I'll include, as we're kind of talking through this, some pictures of it being printed, the model itself, and you'll see. But it's basically a rectangle with a large hole in the center that goes over the joystick, and you affix it. I didn't bother to, the author actually did a very nice job in explaining what to do in some instructions. I missed them, didn't see them, and I was like, why didn't he give me instructions? I got to figure this out. And I said, command. Yeah, well, I'll use command strips. That'll work out pretty well. And then I looked at a few more pictures and go, hey, he's using command strips. And then later I found the instructions where he suggested that, because that way you're not marring actually the surface of your control deck. It's still really good and sturdy. And so you can kind of pick your poison on it, but you take this rectangular piece over the joystick, affix it. Command strips seem to work really great. And then because I've got it affixed, I can't do the visual aid on the actual rectangular piece, but I can show you this, which is my 4-way restrictor plate. And you'll see here, maybe, there's a little tab, little tab right here. That's to kind of pop it off. And so you can print the 4-way. You can print basically a horizontal or vertical. So for something like Battle Zone, which is just basically horizontal, or vertical on 2-joystick vertical game, you can print those. They've got ones on a 45. So about any kind of restriction you need to put on your joystick, you can. And then you just pop this, whatever restrictor you want to use, on. And so I did this, and I'm off playing Pac Man and Tetris much better than I've ever played it before. And so it was a really nice way to not have to go into the machine, mess around with the joystick too much. It connecting it to, onto your control deck is a little, it isn't going to damage it to use the kind of the command hook or the command strip kind of approach to it. So that'll work out really well. And then the flexibility to kind of pop these on and off, you take it, because I've got this one off now. So now my joystick just acts like it always does. But then I can, if I wanted to do a Battlezone one, I could and all that. So it was a quick print. I mean, it was less than an hour to get everything done I needed to get done. And it's really improved the playability of Pac Man for me, which was my main goal, was to have a little better experience with that. So my question to you, sir, is, are you in the market for it? Because I can, now that I'm all up and running, I'd be happy to knock off another one of these for you if you're so inclined.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. We will get that printed up and send it your way, because I think that'll be a nice thing. I'll take a look. Right now, the PLA I'm using is this beautiful blue. I'll see what else I have. I don't think I have a yellow or a orange that's going to exactly kind of match your color scheme. But we'll see what I can do. If not, the blue probably won't look too bad against it. But yeah, we'll knock one of those off for you. But it's a nice thing. It was a really simple, pretty smart hack, and then flexible too, in that I can kind of add the horizontal or vertical ones if I wanted to later as well, which I think maybe for Battlezone I'll do, because that would be another kind of a nice thing to do. So nice. It's kind of fun. It was quick and easy to do. Worked really great. Install was good. What I found, the instructions are really good on the model. I did find that I needed to, when I put the rectangular plate over, rather than have it exactly centered on the joystick, I actually pulled it back just very slightly, so that the bottom part was just a slight bit off center, and the top part was a little bit closer, just a less like an eighth of an inch, because it was just where I was making a little bit of contact. When I did it perfectly centered and played it, I was getting a little bit of a click when I was pulling it down, and so just that might be the one thing. But it's a nice thing with command strips is you can pull those off and reset it if you need to, but you might have to tweak its orientation on up and down just a hair to get that initial plate that catches the restrictor plate where you want it. But boom, it was done. The AtGames joystick has actually two kind of washers on it. One of them goes underneath this guy, and then the other one goes on top of it. Looks reasonable, doesn't mess up the machine much at all, and really improve the playability.
Very nice. Yeah, I've been looking at a lot of, not intentionally, but a lot of different projects I've seen people doing with their retro gaming equipment involving 3D printing. So it's really interesting.
Yep. And we will, as we've talked a little bit before, I'm going to fiddle with my Fight Stick and my Super Console X and look to build a stand for that. And so as that's going to be, I've looked, I'd like to just cheat and grab a model somebody's put together. A lot of RetroPie stuff out there, cases and all those types of things. But for what I'm looking for here, I haven't found anything. So that's going to be something I'm going to have to actually do some 3D design with, and then build the model and then print it. So we'll keep working on that and keep you guys posted on progress with it.
Yeah, and anybody who wants to sample Kelly saying he's going to fiddle with his Fight Stick, feel free to do so.
Yeah. Not a t-shirt. So, not a t-shirt. Go.
That should be a t-shirt, not a t-shirt.
Not a t-shirt material. Cool. All right. Well, just wanted to do a quick one, give you folks an update on that. If you've done any kind of 3D printing to mod any of your cabinets at Games, Arcade One Up, etc., iArcade, I would love to hear about those and what you've kind of thought was pretty cool. So with that, I think we're done for the show, sir. You have anything?
Nope, I think that's it.
Cool. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, everybody.